Hey, what's going on? Warrensville Heights, class of 2024. Remember the name, Mansa Musa of the 21st century. Who am I? A father, a husband, a healer, an entertainer, a speaker, an educator, a writer. Yeah, and I'm so glad to be here today with you for day 2 of mindfulness and motivation. Mindfulness and motivation. Let's review the definition of mindfulness. Remember, mindfulness is not something you create, not something you force or make. It's a natural state you return to with a pause, where your body is settled and your mind is attuned to what's going on with you and what's going on around you, what's going on around the world. So mindfulness is a journey inward to be able to journey outward. 9th grade is coming upon you. A lot of challenges, but a lot of celebration, because growth is painful. And you're growing right now. You're growing mentally. You're growing spiritually. You're growing psychologically. So don't be afraid of growth, because growth is change, and change is growth. And that's why mindfulness is important to what? Starts with a P. A-U-S-E. It's important to pause, to stop from within and notice. Just notice. What are you thinking in your mind? What are you feeling in the heart? And what's the language of your body? Mindfulness can be practiced formally with meditation. We talked about it last session. Sitting. You can find a chair, or you can sit on the floor, placing your hands gently in your lap, sitting up tall like the king and queens that you are. And you can let the eyes close and just go inward. Maybe placing your hand over your belly and just feeling the rise and fall of your belly. And noticing, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What's going on within me? What are my thoughts? And what's happening around me? It's important to pause. It's important to stop. So class of 2024, we also talked about my question. What was the question? What was my question? My question was, who are you? Are you Black, African American? Are you a young lady? Are you brave, courageous, outgoing, fearless? Are you scared? Are you shy? Are you a good friend? Are you a good daughter? Are you a good son? You see yourself as smart and intellectual. Because I think, therefore I am. So part of mindfulness is really being aware of your thoughts. Because it all starts with what you're thinking about yourself. Then it's what you feel. And then you create your attitude. Then you create your character. And you create your destiny. So it's important to stop and pause. To reflect on the first question, which was, who are you? And now the second question is, who were you before? That was your past. This is your future. This is right now. I'll do it again. This is your past. This is your present. And this is your future. So, with mindfulness meditation, you gotta understand, it's past, it's present, and it's future. So, the last session we talked about, who are you now? Right now, in 2020, in the middle of a world pandemic and other social injustices that's going on and other struggles that's happening right now in the world, right now in America, right now in Cleveland, right now in Warrensville Heights, right now in your community, who are you now? Please take some time to think critically about this. Now, the second question is, who were you before? What's your story? What happened to you that shaped who you are now? Do you know about your family's history? Do you know about where you come from? Do you know about your grandparents, your great-grandparents? Do you know about your culture? That's called identity. So part 2 with mindfulness and motivation is to have a strong center, a foundation, or call it a faith of who you are. Because if you're not mindful about who you are, then society, which could be the media, which could be people who don't have your best interests, all these things are going to tell you who you're not if you're not mindful about who you are. So, who are you before? That's the second question. So think about where you've come from. If you moved from another state, if you moved from another neighborhood, who were you in those neighborhoods? Who were you growing up in elementary school?
I'm in Amsterdam.
Who were you
is without a doubt
in middle school? What were you thinking about yourself? What were you feeling? Did you have low self-esteem? Do you still have low self-esteem? What's happening in your family? What's your family dynamic? Are you raised by a single mom? Are you with your mom and dad? Are you living with relatives? Who are you? And who were you before? So it's really important to be here now, mindful and present, is to really understand who you were before. Okay, does that make sense? So remember, mindfulness is a natural state. Just relax. It's not something you create. So we can sit. You can also, when you're mindful, take a few deep breaths. I don't know if we're athletic, you can stretch. Give yourself a stretch, right? But it's all about moving your body, okay? So there are different ways you can practice mindfulness and ask yourself these questions. You can sit, you can stand, you can walk, or you can lie down. So there are 4 different ways that you can be mindful and practice mindfulness. Yeah. So I want you to think about the first question was, who are you now? Question today is, who were you before? These 2 questions. And again, write it down, because when you write things down in a diary or a journal, it's much more powerful, it's much more meaningful and believable if you want to believe it or if you want to change it. So it's really important to have something tangible. So any ideas in your mind, it's important to write them down. Also, mindfulness and motivation is anything you do that you enjoy and it keeps you in the present moment is being mindful. So if you practice martial arts, if you like to read, if you like to do gardening, if you like sports, if you like dancing, like if you're in the present moment, noticing what 3 things, what are they? What are the 3 things that helps you practice mindfulness? Noticing your thoughts. What am I thinking? Positive thoughts, negative thoughts, good thoughts, bad thoughts, scary thoughts, funny thoughts. The mind is always thinking. What am I feeling in my heart? And what are the sensations of my body? So continue to find maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I'm telling you, it works. When you wake up in the morning, just spend a moment. Letting the eyes close, placing your hands over your abdomen, feeling the rise and fall of your belly, noticing the temperature of the room, noticing any sounds you hear, but staying still like a tree. Noticing any thoughts you have about what's happening in the future or in the past, but coming back over and over again to what's happening now, within you and around you. Just spend 2 or 3 minutes doing this every day. Or when you come home, or sometimes before you do your homework, you can stop. What am I thinking about? Getting online. What am I thinking about doing my homework? Maybe you want to have a conversation with your friend or your family. You're having some anxiety. Just pause before. That gives you an opportunity to think about your thoughts, your feelings in your body. And then you can choose who you want to be. First question is, who am I now? Who are you now? Second question is, who are you before? All right? Day 2, mindful motivation, Mansa Musa. Congratulations to the class of 2024. We gotta get your mind right, your heart right, your spirit right, because you're entering a new journey of change. And change is growth, and growth is change. And smile more.